Brad Hollis, welcome to the Dyl Friends podcast, my friend. This one's been a long time in the making. The energy's high, man. I'm honestly feeling it through the screen. Good boy, good footy energies. Welcome.
You got it. Thank you for having me on. I hope they look at the right screen.
You will.
The camera,
you will.
There's two cameras. I got a laptop camera and I got another camera.
Yeah, and you look fantastic on both of them. We run a pretty tight ship here, mate. So thank you again for coming on. In all honesty, AFL Cult Hero and one of the most requested guests I've had to come on the podcast. It's been overwhelming. I'm sure you're used to this. I'm not used to this, but the amount of people that have really requested and wanted you to come on, and mate, I've been one of them myself, but it's been hard to lock you down because you're a busy man.
Yeah. I've started working, doing skip in truck driving Monday to Friday. And early days, I was coming home and I was just so tired.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I don't want to do the podcast tired.
Yeah.
But, and we couldn't do it on a weekend. So then, but recently, it's gone to 5 days a week because it's only about 3 or 4. But since then, it's not as tiring. I guess I got used to it. I think that's what people do. They get used to it, you know. So I'm coming home now and I'm like, I got a bit of energy.
Yeah, that's good. And you are the energy man. So I thank you for your energy. But you have been a hard man to get a hold of. Like you said, you've been tired coming to and from work. I'm sure you're doing a tremendous job, whatever it is you are doing. But, mate,
well, good on the guys messaging in as well.
Of course. Mate, it's been instrumental.
Beautiful.
I just want to give, if anyone has been living under a rock for the last 5 or 6 years, quite simply, and this is the word from the horse's mouth, Brad Hollis. It's the Facebook bio is a futuristic football awareness in the AFL. Now, I love that title. It's short, it's sharp, it's straight to the point, and there's no questions in what that is. And you deliver that in spades, and it's been incredible to see your journey. It's incredible to be sitting down with you today, and we have crossed paths a couple times over the last 12 months, and we've been trying to tee this up, as we said, for a while. But I normally give my sort of recollection of the first meeting and how it went by, but I think that you might have a better one. So I want to throw that in your court, and maybe we can talk about how we first connected on a spiritual level, maybe.
Yeah, well, because I did that video about you last year, I reckon. And so then we messaged a bit then, and then at the end of last year, we first met. It was at that Puma thing, and it was in Melbourne. So obviously, I flew to Melbourne from Adelaide and slept in a hotel room, and then the next morning went into what was it called in Brunswick? It was like the
it was called
something or
the wool shed.
Wool
yeah,
mill?
that's what it was. Yeah, wool mill. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. So I've walked in and by myself in my backpack and a bit nervous, and I walk in and you're pretty much right at the door, but you got your back to me, and then you turn around and you say hello, introduce me, and you shake my hand, and it was like it was pretty strong handshake, like one of the strongest. Like it was unexpectedly hard. Because I'm just a kid, I'm just coming from Adelaide, this kid rocking up, and bang, like first impression. And because I remember, I think when you had the big ox on. David Swartz, he told a story about your dad doing the same thing to him, just squeezing his hand. So obviously your dad's passed down that trait, which is good.
There's not many he has passed down, and that could be one of them, but I do appreciate that.
So me and the ox are just sitting there like, man, our hands. But we, then straight after that, there was another guy next to you, a money manager or something like that. And then he's introduced himself and shook my hand. And the exact same, he's like, the exact same like strength. And it just sort of was all, it was almost, sort of to me, it was like, hey, this isn't, you're in the big city now, this is the big boys. You're sitting at the big boy table. And, I could almost sense a part of you was like, look, Brad, if you want to, the handshake sort of spoke to me. It was like, if you want to turn around right now, get on a plane back to Adelaide, we will not even judge you. But if you're going to come in, we play for keeps in here.
No, To be honest, and does it shock you that was exactly the message that I was sending you? And I'm not surprised that you didn't pick that up. So well done. But it was a good day. It was a good day. We definitely did spark a good friendship that day. And I thought that it was going to be probably fast tracked a lot sooner than it was. Like, you know, I felt like we had a really good start. But then, you know, you went back to Adelaide and I felt like you just sort of forgot about it. And like that was it, you know, like it was sort of, that was the end.
Forgot. No way. It was the bloody COVID, wasn't it?
Could have been that.
Yeah. All the plans. Well, what were you expecting?
No, I was just maybe expecting some letters or I don't know, something else. But I do want to thank you because going back to when you just said before about the video you made. Now, for people who haven't seen that video, they're watching. Brad makes incredible videos on Facebook of, as we said, futuristic views on football. And I had the honour of being made into one of these videos, and it was nearly at the end of my tenure at the Giants, and it was basically about how to get a game because I wasn't getting a game. And you made this video about me saying that I should be bringing gift baskets to Leon Cameron, and then I could get a new contract. How we didn't know each other before that at all. Why did you make that video? Like what? What was actually like? Why?
Why did you make that? Because it was just, I think as a lot of people out there, you know, just have a memory of you playing for Carlton. There was a lot of excitement about you because you had speed and you were quick and, you know, I just have memories, you know, classic MCG Friday night or just, you know, whatever. And then it sort of just
fizzled.
I don't know, sort of just, they didn't play you, I don't think. And I was not, from the outside looking in, not really knowing too much about it. I was like, I'd be playing him, you know.
I wish you were one of my coaches. That's for sure. Brad, I want to talk about you today because you're a special man, and I'm been excited for this one for a while, as I said, as is everyone. But one thing I want to take you back to is a very monumental day, February 21st, 2016. Yeah, Goodboy, Footy Energies was born. How did it come about? Why did it come about? And did you ever expect to have a following like it does?
Well, that morning, I think it was a Sunday. I literally woke up. This is it's happened a couple of times. It's pretty rare. It's where I've woken up with an idea. Like as I wake up, I had an idea just to start a Facebook page, but it wasn't initially called the Goodboy. It was called, I don't know if you know this, it was called Smoking Weed and Watching Brad Johnson Smile. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. No, I didn't.
That's what it was initially called for the first few months.
Okay.
Just because, well, I mean, I obviously changed it for a number of reasons. You know, the smoking weed is probably not really I don't even smoke weed, so. But I think that was just from, you know, maybe having some friends over and watching Fox Footy. And because he's obviously the smiling assassin. And that was pretty funny. But yeah, then because I was already doing like videos and comedy, just general comedy stuff for a couple of years. And so then I just started the page randomly, and then I don't know, I just had a couple of ideas that I just made videos about for footy. It quickly gained more traction than what the other videos were doing, if that makes sense.
What were those early videos? Like, how did they first get received when you put them on Facebook? Like, did you think that anyone was going to like see them? Were you sharing them to become a page, or was it just a bit of fun?
Oh, the Goodboy. Yeah, obviously for the couple of years prior, I was trying to, I wanted people to see it and wanted to be successful at it and like, you know, whatever that entails. But yeah, I don't know. It just all kind of happened naturally, I guess. In that, sorry, there's a plane going over. But if you can hear that. But yeah, it was just, what was the question? It was.
I don't know. I think it was. When did you realise that it was going to turn into something?
Well, just straight away the amount of likes it was getting was a lot stronger than the other videos, and then at the end of that year, there was a couple of videos that sort of got took off a bit more than the other ones.
But you've got 65,000 on Facebook, so your videos are, you know, they're massive and they're well edited. Like they're so different. A lot of people have probably never seen anything like it. Where did it all come from? Like, was that from your early videos, or was it just from playing around with it?
Yeah, for a few years I was doing did a lot of videos, I guess. Not that many of them are online now because they're a bit weird, but yeah, that's all. I consider that all to be part of the momentum building, and then just started the footy one, and that kind of felt right, you know.
Mate, you're an Adelaide boy. I know you love Port. It's a big season for them. The love for Port, where'd that come from, I suppose? Are you just born in the area? Do you love the colours? Is there something about their energy that draws you to them?
Well, Dad goes for Port, and we used to go to the games as a kid, obviously. Yeah, family thing. We used to go for Crows, but then he changed because, I don't know if it was one of the reasons was he wanted to take us to the footy, and the Crows games were always sold out, but the Port games weren't sold out as much.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, yeah, that was one of the reasons. And yeah, just grew up barracking for Port. Went to the 2004 grand final. I do like the colour teal as well. I think that's nice. I feel like Port aren't using it as much.
Yeah, they're branding away from the teal. They like the prison bars at the moment.
And then even the away Guernseys, it's just grey.
Mm.
And I'm like, get that colour in there, you know, get me some teal. It's good colour.
Mate, you've made a lot of videos about players. What have been some of the best reactions that you've got from players about videos you've made of them? Have you had people that have been obviously wrapped? Is there anyone that's ever been not so happy?
So I'd say most feedback's pretty positive. AFL players, I don't know, interact randomly at times and that, I think. Sure, Shane Biggs is one that comes to mind. I don't know if you've seen that video. The Shane Biggs Never Forget.
Yeah, he loves that one.
Yeah. I can't remember. He messaged me the other day because I think I posted something about it. I don't know. But yeah, good on you, Biggsy, if you're listening.
Shout out to Biggsy. Biggsy's one that I'd love to get on the show, and we will tee that up very soon. Mate, one of the things that I've always wanted to go through, because obviously I love your content, I watch your content, but a lot of the words I don't really understand what they mean. So I've put together a Goodboy's Urban Dictionary, right? And I'll throw to you some of your words, and I want you to explain in the purest form what the word means. What's milky?
Milky. Well, it's pretty much just like, I don't really know, you know, smooth and
creamy.
Yeah, creamy. I don't really know. Just Nathan Cracker coming off a halfback. That's milky.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. You should have said that to start with.
Yeah.
Vibrations.
Just energy, molecules vibrating, vibrations.
Put that in a sentence with players in.
The St Kilda players meditating at quarter time.
Okay, that makes sense.
Feeling good vibrations.
That's it. I'm understanding these a lot better. Pure.
Well, that's pretty.
Makes sense.
Is
that just the dictionary one, the Oxford Dictionary definition?
Like water or something, you know.
When you say there's a bit in that, give us like an example of what that is, because obviously a lot of people tag you on Facebook of things that they find in games, and they'll go, "There's a bit in that." Is that your thing? Is that your trademark on that?
A little bit, but I didn't actually technically say it. First of all, some guy, Cody, wrote to the page, and he said, he's talking about the Mackay twins, how one of them kicks right foot, one of them kicks left foot, and he just said, "There's a bit in that," and I wrote a post about it or something as well, and that's where it sort of took off from, and yeah, there's a bit in that. I don't know, means there's some sort of thing behind it, some spiritual connection or something, which I guess. And then someone was saying you could say there's a bit in that for about anything, which I was kind of probably agreed, because like, you know, everything. I mean, you looking out the window now, where everything's pretty trippy, you know, like the world, like there's a bit in that, like everything is energy. Everything is a miracle, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's one of Einstein's quotes.
I think it is.
Where you can live life as if nothing's a miracle, or everything's a miracle.
Why the full span shepherd? Why do you love that so much?
I don't know. That just sort of, yeah. I guess things I just see that. I don't know, because it was just so, it was because that was in the Bulldogs grand final when Liam Picken did it, and that was just, it was a strong time where everyone was on the Bulldogs train, and it's all flowing, and he's running Johannesson, and then he just sticks his arms out. It was just so classic. It was just classic Picken as well. He's just doing that, the simple but so powerful.
It's a fundamental, isn't it? It's pretty pure.
It is pure. It's vibrations.
Mate, the number one question I get asked after we hung out and when we became friends, obviously I hope we're friends if that's not too forward, is people always go, what is Brad like in person? Is he the same as he is in his videos? Do you get asked this question a lot?
Not really, but my friends do.
Yes, that would make sense actually, yeah.
Yeah, and they say he's normal. Eccentric maybe, I don't know. But I've been on a few dates with this girl, and she says jokingly that I'm weird. Not like weird, but like, because I said to her that we're talking about how that my friends were like, he's normal, and she's like, you're not normal, but like, jokingly.
So not in a creepy sort of way that you're weird.
No, not in a creepy way.
In a milky way. These days, and you've done this really well. Now you've obviously built up, awesome following through your comedy on Facebook, absolutely killing it. But now you're transitioning into more of a stand-up as well. You're doing some stand-up gigs in Adelaide. Was that something you planned, or was it just something that was a bit of a natural progression?
Well, I've been doing that on and off for 6 years or so. That was when I first started doing comedy.
So you're doing comedy as well as stand-up the whole time?
Yep, when I was about 19. And then a couple years after that, just started the Goodboy stuff. But yeah, I took about a couple years off recently from the stand-up. But last year or so, I've been getting back into it. I think I'd like to do more of that. That's fun. I've done a few ones in Adelaide too, and Melbourne a few years ago as well.
What is your comedy show consist of? Do you do similar stuff to your like footy stuff, or is it more of a stand-up gig like life and anything more than, or just sticking to footy?
It's more life at the moment. The recent one I didn't put that much footy in it at all, really. I probably expressed the footy stuff on the page, and then it was more just random stuff for life, and it's probably similar to Instagram videos that are just random.
So unfortunately, Brad Johnson, he got cut from the name, and that's how you got the good boy, good footy energies name. How did that come about? What was the transition of name change there, and was that the thing that exploded the page?
Yeah, that was. I was watching footy one night in a Collingwood versus St Kilda game, and they had David Armitage mic'd up for the sounds of the game. And me and my friends we already liked Armo because he was a classic player. He just he came out of nowhere a little bit in the sense of I don't think he must have got a game too early, and then he was like such a big boy, and he'd run around getting lots of handballs with I don't know. We just thought he was pretty classic, and he was mic'd up, and in the first quarter they showed the footage, and he kept. Because I was almost a bit nervous for him. I don't know why, because it'd be weird being mic'd up for everyone's watching. But he just kept saying to everyone good boy, like to all the younger players, and just thought that was, I don't know, I like that. I initially thought it was almost embarrassing because he kept saying it, but then I quickly realised that was awesome, and then me and my friends would sort of. Go around saying good boy to each other, I guess. And then, that's where the page name came from, of the inspiration.
That's
Armitage.
inspiring. So David Armitage was the man.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
He's a good boy. Early days as well with the page, there was a massive hype around, like, even media getting people to go around and do the good boy sign. How did that cult figureness grow? Like, who were some of the people that jumped on board early? Like, I remember something on the footy show happened. Like, it was just going nuts.
Yeah, that was well, the first one was someone sent in a photo of with Jack Silvani at training, and they got him to do that because I must have done that on a photo or something, or like on the page earlier. And then so they just did that, and then I posted it, and then other people started to do that with football players when they run into them, and it just grew from that. And like there was a couple of Dustin Martin, because that was the 2017 was the Richmond hype, and like a couple of Dusty, and they like got a lot of likes and stuff, obviously, because Dusty's he's just such a strong aura, man. You know.
Oh, it was vibrating. Mate, it's not, and I say this in the best way, like, it's not normal content. It's obviously pretty strange. It's pretty rare. Did you back yourself into Postit, or did you have some of your mates like pushing you to actually do it and get around you to do it? Because it's sort of that content where you put it out there and you're like, fuck, are people going to actually like this, or is this just too weird?
Yeah, and have never really struggled to post something. Like, I've always wanted to just get it out there and not worry too much about what other people think, I guess. But also being pretty lucky that people respond, usually, especially early, responded pretty good to it. Like, obviously it builds, but yeah, I'd say the response was pretty positive.
What would you say your favourite videos you've made are that have got the best reactions from people that have probably been your favourite to create? Give me your top three favourite pieces of content.
Well, probably one of them would be there's an Alan Didak video. I don't know if you've seen that one where the BT. I just found the footage on YouTube one day of Didak taking the hanger and Anzac Day, and BT's commentary was like pretty crazy. He's like, Didak. Which that was a fun time. And then there was the Fraser Garrick one. I don't know if you've seen that one. That was one where I saw the footage of the Robert Harvey run through the middle, and I sort of that brought up a lot of emotion already. And I thought, oh, that could be a good video. But sometimes when you think that could be a good video, it never really ends up being what you think. But this was probably one of the rare times where it actually, because it was only like 6 months later when I actually did film it, and yeah, it felt good to do, and it felt there was a lot of emotion there, and it actually came out all right on the camera. Yeah, and then there's another video which it was like a longest kick audition for Fox Footy. It was a joke one with my little cousin from Hong Kong. I don't know. I just like that video. It's kind of pure, just because he's like, he doesn't really know anything about footy, what's going on. My audition kick is me kicking across a little river. That's not very far, but it's not too small. And I just thought it was kind of funny how I did actually make it.
Mate, I want to get into some fan questions because you've got a lot of fans, mate, and they want to know a few things. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, bring it on.
At Inspector Rex, if you could have anyone give you a full wingspan shepherd, who would it be?
Oh man, I'd probably go Pickin. I said Witsy the other day, but I think Liam
he's got the width.
That would just be a really strong moment, and it would make me feel whole.
Yeah, it would. At C Dehern, in your playing days, who would you model your game off?
Well, early days was Gavin Wanganeen. Obviously, being a poor man.
Gavin Wanganeen about you. Yep.
Yeah, and the lady that gave me haircuts, she said she used to give me the Gavin Wanganeen haircut. Though looking back, well, she was a Bombers fan, so he used to play for Bombers. So I was like,
yep.
Was she just saying that, or was she actually modelling on his actual haircut? Great question.
At Shane W95, what's the worst thing a coach made you do, and did it make you play better?
It's not really a perfect answer to the question, but I was playing in a match once, like an association match or something, like when it's like under 13s or 14s or something. And I'm in the back pocket, the other back pocket, the forward pocket for the other team. He's kicked like 2 or 3 in a row, and so I've gone, look, swap, because you're not getting the job done. So swap, I'll go on the guy, and then the coach. The coach must have just been staring at a wall, and then he's looked up at that exact moment and must have been gone, "Who's on that bloody kid who's kicking on the goals?" And he's seen me, who's gone there, and then he's taken me off, and being too young to, if that happened now, I might just go to the coach and just be like, "Hey, by the way, I actually swapped. You've got it wrong." But yeah, he took me off, and I was like, "Damn." And that was all downhill from there, Dyl. It was all downhill from there, Dyl. That was my career just went.
Mate, to be honest, that'll do it to you, to be honest. At T Wayne, and I know we've touched on this a lot, but do you have a favourite footy moment of all time?
Not really. Some of those Port comebacks in 2013, 14 were pretty good. I went to the Hawthorn game, the prelim we lost, but that last quarter was, because it was funny how the flow works, as we're playing okay. And, Wingard was sort of playing all right. But then all of a sudden, that last quarter comeback, then the flow kicks in. All of a sudden, Wingard's kicking check sides from the boundary. And it's like, it's the energy there. But we actually lost. And I remember just in the stands, I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, I remember being like on the ride back home. But a part of me was still in the stands, just like my head just like so close, could not believe that. But anyway, that's not really a good moment, is it? Bittersweet, it's the emotion,
My last question from a super fan at Mon LP. There's a new moon in Aries illuminating now, and this is a fact. It's not made up. What do you think this might mean for footy finals?
New moon in Aries. Well, we just had a full moon. That was pretty good. I honestly, I know enough, but I'm not into the moons and that.
This is what the Aries moons at the moment. It's illuminating, as we said. Agitation, fights, aggression, and anger, all associated with the Aries moon. It says, be careful what we say or do so we don't regret it when the heat cools off. Aries is a very powerful sign. Warrior, courage, and bravery. That speaks volume of what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's finals, it's high stakes, mate, A lot of aggression. And, that's the new Aries moon. Well, yeah, I guess you just got to harness it.
Exactly. But would you say the team who best harnesses the Aries moon will win the flag? Is that what you're saying?
You can put a dash under that and quote me on that if you want.
Okay, done.
And put it on Google.
You've heard it here first. If you could predict something or hope for something to happen in the finals, what would it be?
Well, I posted yesterday because I watched Braveheart yesterday. Have you seen that movie?
Oh, yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I haven't really watched it before. And it's classic Mel Gibson. Like, I love how those strong men with like long hair. Just classic energy. Like Richo in the old days. Probably a lot of footballers. Do you feel like footballers in the old days, they used to be a lot more bigger and like Mark Rasciuto, just a tank, just like
hairier too.
More men. Like there's just like they're meaty men.
Look like your dad.
Yeah, pretty, like even though in this day and age you could argue they're way more muscly potentially because they're like fitter and that, but.
No, I know what you mean. You look back at like 90s footy, and you can see them running around like hairy chest, big hairy like forearms. Most of them are like bald as well, and they're just like massive. Yeah. So you're hoping that for finals that everyone just comes out hairy and bald? Is that what
like I was saying Taylor Adams should wear the face paint, the Brave, or a team or Collingwood or someone.
Okay.
Just wear that. I don't know if that's illegal or not, but
Brad Hollis, what does the future look like for you? I know it's promising, but have you got any goals? Where do you want to get to? Is it taking this full time? Is it doing stand up full time? Because obviously your ideal job, you put that in your mind and you'll be telling the universe, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, at the moment, just enjoying the truck driving of the money coming in, the stability, I guess, that's a word people use, stability. But yeah, just enjoying that. And then my goals, don't really know, go with the flow, I guess. But obviously I'd like to do less truck driving and start earning money from things like stand-up or whatever creative stuff that I enjoy doing.
We will. I know it's going to be promising, my friend. Is there anything that you'd like to finish up with? Is there a message that you want to send out to your loyal supporters? I know you love them so much and so dearly.
They are loyal.
obviously
They're
close to
actually
your
really
heart.
nice. They're actually really nice, and they're always so positive. And I've enjoyed this year a lot of them that they'll post stuff to the page and then I'll share it.
I've
And
noticed
it's just
that.
it's a nice community feel.
It's
and
wholesome, isn't it?
It is wholesome. And some guy posted one the other day about he was just walking with a footy, taking a bounce, and he handballed it. And some guy was walking past him and just put up the hands and he just handballed it to him and like took a mark and then gave back to him. I don't think they even said anything. Then he walked away. And just the way he wrote it as well was really just like a masterpiece of so refined, you know. I don't know. It read well when you read it.
That does resonate with me, because how much do you actually, when someone is walking with a footy coming past you, how much do you just wish they would do that?
Yeah, it's a good community feel, you know.
It's a great community feel. Look, let's put it out there, challenge to everyone. And obviously this was your friend's initiative, but we want to back it up. If you are walking down the street, maybe just pass it, handball it. Don't be afraid of getting a little bit of gravel scratch on the Sharon. Share the ball around. You can change someone's day by just passing the footy. Obviously you want to be hitting them pretty well in the hands, but I think that'd be nice. Brad, Hollis, thank you so much for coming on the Dyl Friends podcast, my friend. It's been incredible. Great insight into your life, into some football energies, some life energies, and I've learned a lot today, especially about the Aries Moon, and I'm very excited about the finals to come. Very excited about your future, because I know there's good things set up for yourself, mate. So very excited, blessed to have you on the show, and thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. It's good fun. Obviously, love the podcast. Been listening for a while now. And yeah, it's cool. It's got a good energy to it, I reckon. It's a nice, light vibe. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I look forward to doing something else with you in the future, or some sort of... Maybe you could come out in one of my stand-up shows.
I'd love to.
Maybe we could do a sketch.
I'd love to.
You could be like, whoa. We'll work it out.
Okay. Thank you, Brad. Have a great night. Make sure you do some chin-ups. The gym looks good in the background, and has some good energies there. So we'll see you soon.